on the first question. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Evening, Jacques here, Hardlines. Jacques, everything seemed to go according to plan in that first half. It was a really quite outstanding performance, but then second half, obviously, things turned around quite drastically. Were you disappointed with the impact off the bench? Because you did go quite early to the bench.
We went with the front row, I think, early. So no, I wasn't disappointed with him. I think in the second half, Ken, we lost it in the air, in the kicking game. I thought we got the rewards in the first half, and then obviously in the second half, I thought they dominated the air, and that gave them territory, and that gave them broken play, and then we had to scramble from there.
Thank you, Ken. And we say good evening to Leighton Koopman of Rapport.
Hello, Jacques. Hello, Sia. Jacques, maybe for you and Sia, how did this the situation with the COVID affect the guys that returned to the team? Do you feel they lacked a bit of oomph that they showed before they got sick? Just your assessment, and then Sia, for you on the field as well, please.
No, I don't think we can blame anything of the COVID. I think, yes, I mean, it's well documented that we haven't played a lot of rugby together. And I think it would be naive to say, listen, it doesn't have it might affect our cohesion. But if you look at what happened in the first half, I thought we had good cohesion. I don't think we can look at that as an excuse and say, listen, no, COVID is the reason why the second half we didn't dominate the air or had parity in the air, because we did it in the first half. I just think it's one of those things, in the second half, we had 2 opportunities or 3 opportunities to score and get over the try line. I think we got over all 3 times, but then unfortunately twice we got brought back, which was the right calls, but that's how close it is. The margins are inches, and in one instance, the inch went for us, and the other 2 inches, it didn't go for us.
I think Coach said it there. I personally felt fine in the game. Obviously, later in the game, we got tired, but it was, I can't blame COVID for anything. I felt fine. I had a great week of training, and yeah, that definitely didn't play a role in that.
Thank you. And we say good evening to Luis from ESPN.
Hi, Jackson. Sia. I'm Luis Chiesa from ESPN Argentina. Sia, do you think the Springboks forwards couldn't dominate the Lions pack in the second half, and that's why you couldn't win the game?
Sorry, say that again?
Yeah. Do you think the Springboks forwards couldn't dominate the Lions pack in the second half, and that's why you couldn't win the game?
I think we had some opportunities that we didn't use in the second half. There wasn't a lot of them. I think every time we didn't get our more going. I think it's something more we can look at ourselves. That there's a couple of technical things that we'll fix in that. But yeah, I thought, as Coach said, they won every single ball. Most of the balls in the air, the straps, the balls around, things that we normally get and things that we normally win, we actually today, and our discipline is actually one of the biggest things. They had more opportunities than us, and they used it well. Well done to them. But we'll start working from tomorrow, straight away recover, and then work again. And us as a pack will look at what we need to fix.
Thank you, Sia. And our next question goes to Lloyd Bernard. Good evening, Lloyd.
Thanks, Ray. Evening, chaps, Hardlines. Jacques, I suppose it's impossible not to talk about the disallowed try, and Villiers was obviously incredibly close. And the TMO call. Just your views on what you were seeing from the box on that, also taking into account that it was a decision of an on-field try.
Yes, I thought it was tight, and I think if to do the word was incredibly cool. From the beginning, when we saw the try and the try was given, we as coaches felt it's going to be unbelievably tight. But I completely trust and agree with the decision they made. I mean, that is their profession. That's what they are good at, and it could have gone, in my opinion, both ways. But 100% agree with the TMO call there. They are in a position where they have all the angles, you know, and sometimes those inches go for you. And you score a brilliant try from a counter-attack, and sometimes it goes against you.
Thank you, Jacques. And Ashfaq, you up next. Ashfaq Mohammed.
Hi guys. Firstly to Siya. Siya, do you think some of the referees' calls, particularly with advantage, perhaps weren't the same for both teams? He seemed to give the Lions a longer advantage and call off the Bok advantage. And then to Jacques, just in terms of the attack, do you think the attack was a bit narrow? Quite a bit of kicking and the wings didn't get much ball with on attack.
Salam. Listen, I really don't know. I'll have a look. I can't make that call right now, but yeah, I thought he left well today, and I thought it was fair. But I'll have a look at the game afterwards, and then obviously speak to him during the week.
Yeah, I think if you look at our wingers again, like I say, Willie scores and. Who was the try that's allowed? I can't remember who scored that. Dukes, Damien. That would have been tries where we would say, listen, okay, they got opportunity and scored on the edges, you know. But like I say, so I wouldn't say that. I can't tell you that I think the attack was narrow. We knew it's going to be a kicking game. I mean, normally when you play Warren's team, I think in the last game they play in the SAA team, the average kicking stats in a game is around about between 22, 27 kicks. In the SAA game, it went up to 39, 40. So we knew that was coming and we prepared for it and we had plans for it and it worked well in the first half. But then obviously things didn't go according to plan in the second half. And we will have to have a look at that and see what went wrong, why it happened, because obviously our execution wasn't as good as it was in the first half. But we knew it was going to come. I mean, we knew it's going to be a massive aerial contest.
Thank you, Coach. And Nathan, you up next.
Thanks, Rayan. My question is for Jacques, and then later on be for Siya and Kosa. Jacques, you were leading halftime by 9 points. I just want to find out what is the talk during halftime, strategy during halftime with the lads, because obviously you guys conceded 19 points in the second half, and obviously putting just only 5 points.
Yeah, no, listen, at halftime, we keep on doing what we're doing. Things were working for us, you know. We were creating opportunities, and obviously we were playing in the right areas of the field, and the attack we launched obviously forced them to make errors, and that's how we got penalties, and that's how we kicked it over. So we felt that that there was two areas we had to step up, and the one was the breakdown. I thought they attacked the breakdown a lot. And we felt that was one area that they were biting at, so we had to sort that out. And then we had a big discussion about our discipline, and I think that's the big thing in the second half. You know, they would start a maul, we will handle the maul, the referee will go use it once, and then we would give a stupid penalty away, you know, which then gives them 3 points. So I thought our discipline wasn't great in the second half, and we alluded. The sad thing is we actually highlighted that at halftime and say, listen, we need to make a step up there. And obviously, yeah, we didn't.
Thank you, Jacques. And Mark Gleeson, you're up next, please.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, please go ahead.
Simple question. Is this situation salvageable?
Definitely, it's salvageable. Well, you have to salvage it. So obviously, we will have a look at do proper review on the game, and definitely things that we can sort out. Like Siya said, listen, we can sort our mauls out. obviously we know confident that we will sort out the kicking game and the aerial contest. It worked in the first half for us, and it gave us good field position. So yeah, definitely fixable.
Thank you, Jacques. And Craig Lewis, good evening.
Evening, thanks, Ray. Jacques, just a quick one on Billy Leroux. Did he come off due to injury, and do you feel the tackle on him should have been maybe a yellow card? And just another one on the kicking game. It seemed like they did target Colby and Kwacha, perhaps due to them being slightly smaller than some of the other guys.
Yeah, I don't think it's got to do with size. I mean, a small guy jump by, and I think Chesden is good in the air. I mean, it's and Kwacha probably fielded I don't know how many kicks, so I thought he handled them well. There was a mix-up in the first contestable in the second half. I thought there was a mix-up between Billy and Kwacha in terms of who's taking that one, but that happens, and we need to get more clarity on that communication, and they'll sort it out. And it's nobody's fault. It's just it was a mix-up. But on Chesden, if you think of the good rewards he got in the first half, I thought he actually dominated in the first half. And no, sometimes take us back to the World Cup, two contestable kicks in the All Black game, which we didn't field, which the players who normally field that they would field 9 out of 10, and sometimes it just happened and pocket, and the bounce of the ball goes their way. That's where we can be sharper, and we will definitely make sure that we work on that in terms of being available and more alert to the scraps.
We're going for one more English question, and then we'll do a very short summary in both Afrikaans and Xhosa. So, Kangiso, good evening.
I'll ask in Xhosa, please.
We are not going to allow him for a very, very brief summary, please. We have to move on, unfortunately. Okay, so let's go over then to Percy. You can kick off in Afrikaans, please. Thank you. And then we'll go over to Xhosa.
Thank you so much, good evening, Jacques, and good evening, Siya. Nienaber, kan ek net kort wat opsomming net hoe som hierdie wedstryd op, en as my Engels my nie teleurstel nie, het jy gepraat van twee van die aspekte wat vir julle gekwel het, was die wedstryd, julle spel onder die hoë bel, en natuurlik julle dissipline. Verstaan ek jy reg met hierdie agter?
Ja, ek dink die twee groot areas waar ons onsself miskien bietjie teleurgestel het op waar ons moet werk is nommer 1 ons dissipline. Ek dink ons dissipline in die tweede helfte was nie goed nie. Dit het ons 'n geleentheid gegee om punte te kry en om ook in ons halfgebied in te kom. En dan die tweede area was, ek dink, waar ons goed was in die eerste helfte in die lug. Dink ek het ons in die tweede helfte was ons nie so goed nie, en hulle het baie meer voordeel gekry losballe en daai losballe gewen. Wat gewoonlik ons sterk is, jy weet, ons is gewoonlik goed daarmee. So ons sal moet kyk dan hoekom het dit gebeur, jy weet, is daar iets wat ons ons sal definitief met werk die week.
Hi, thank you, Jacques. And our second last question goes to Nathan, and then we'll finish off with Kangiso. Nathan, good evening.
Good evening again, Ray. Ray. Ziyabenjani izinto? Nkosicela nje Gabrala. Zishintshe phi izinto between isiqingatha sokuqala nesibini?
Yeah, uthi lokhu uthi Jack besiqala kahle lo mjikelo wokuqala. Close bini yeah, i-discipline yethu ibingekho right, obviously sinikezele iipenalty ezininzi. Nangoku xa bekhaba ibhola ukuthi xa sikwazi uyibamba ibhola okanye xa siyinoke singayibambi thina ezaziteps lapha ecaleni. So yonke into, I think i-discipline yethu into ebalulekileyo kunye nelento ne-kicking game yethu nenyanzelekile kule game izayo sithi make sure uba sesenza kakuhle apha, and obviously i-set piece ethi ii-line-out zethu nezigram zethu ezinyanzeleke senze ngamandla, but I think ngoba iqala imatch favor nobongileyo no-Ox basihlame kakuhle phaa ibheki yethu iqala, and then okwesibini sibonyanzelekile uba siphakamise kakhulu.
Thank you, Sia and Khandiso.
Gqwasha, ngathi mandixolise nje ngesiphumo sanamhlanje. Umuzwa nje okhawulezileyo mani, awufuna ukhalaze ngosompempe. Kodwa bunothi uba usompempe namhlanje bachanile ngento ezininzi zophuma ngalo mdlalo.
Hayi, andinosipilela usompempe, sekulate, kufuneka ndijonge into kufuneke esizilungise ngokwethu. Usompempe unomsebenzi wakhe and uzawenza ngamandla, like wazi bhetere kunam, and khandibone yonke into and banee-angles ezininzi, banee-video ezininzi, so andizokwazi ublame usompempe kuba ngoku ndizoyoyijonga, and if zikhona into ezingukileyo sazithathe thina sizijongise kutim, but into abalulekileyo suba masijonge ile nto idiscipline yethu na apho senze amaphutha khona siyitim.
Thank you very much, ladies and gents. That then conclude our first part of our press conference. Thank you, Jacques. Thank you, Sia. And they will now make way for Oxenche and Faf de Klerk. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.